Hey everybody, welcome to a Grand Teton National Park and National Elk Refuge couch tour. The whole point of this episode is that a lot of people love this place. A lot of people would love to come out here and spend a morning just like I'm doing on my day off, looking for critters, seeing what's crawling around, talking about it, learning about it. But a lot of y'all live really far away, so I thought, what the heck, I'll just bring y'all with me. So gang, I'm not working right now. You can see I'm in my personal rig right here, but I'm bringing some stuff that helps me find critters. So we're using the Swarovski ATX 90 for our spotting scope. We have a pair of the Swarovski NL Pure binoculars, and I also have, of course, my favorite binocular and scope adapter, the digiscoping system of the Ollin adapters. Gang, it was cold this morning, so I threw on my favorite hat from Be More Creative, a local female artist based in Driggs, and as soon as I put the hat on, I actually spotted a bald eagle sitting in this tree. Here's this lovely, mature bald eagle. See that white head, that white tail, that means that it's over 4 years old. So this little guy is out here looking for scavenging opportunities. Cool to see. Absolutely love these birds. Kind of kept scanning the refuge here, just seeing what else could be out there. And not surprisingly, on the National Elk Refuge, guess what I found? You name it, a bunch of elk. So these are cow elk or female elk. And while most of them looked pretty happy, kind of zoomed in on this one that had its head up looking east, just to make sure it wasn't looking at wolves or some other kind of predator.
Okay, gang, we got a coyote long way out, and I just want to show y'all the difference, how I tell the difference between a coyote and a wolf at distance. We're about a mile away. But this coyote, when they move across a landscape, he's moving left to right, but when they move across a landscape, it's very much like happy feet, like short little steps. But these wolves, when they come across the landscape, there he is in the brush, it's a lot more of this kind of regal, elongated lope. But this little coyote's taking these little tiny steps that are kind of quick and fast. So that helps me at a distance identify if I see a dog moving, that's going to be a coyote and not a wolf. There's a couple other coyotes on a carcass, an elk carcass over here. I'll show you that as well. But same kind of thing. The happy feet are coming from the proportion of how long their legs are to their body. Well, sun's just about to come up. I can see it on the hill behind me. And when you're glassing this area, looking directly east is kind of a tough thing to do. You already saw with the coyote that there was a little bit of heat distortion of just the temperature changing so fast. So we're gonna jet a little bit further north and see what we can find up there.
Hopped in the truck and headed up to one of my favorite spots in the whole world, what I like to call Swerve Corner. Coming over this hill just above the National Fish Hatchery, and there is your first big view of Grand Teton National Park. Also interestingly, you are actually entering Grand Teton National Park for free right here. Very odd that Grand Teton allows you to enter for free without paying a fee, but you get to explore a lot of Grand Teton without having to pay. I'll do another whole video about why that is the case, but gosh, just look at this view on the sunrise moment. I know many of y'all have come over this hill and had a very similar experience to this, but it is just an epic way to enter a national park. All the Tetons kind of showing off, especially on a big, clear banner moment. The reason I'm going a little bit further north right now is also because, as you can see, there's not much snow on the ground right here, so elk and moose and bison and all of our other animals are kind of moving north. Spring is happening. We call it what's called surfing the green wave, which is kind of just everything getting north, everything moving up into the slow amble towards their summer range. As you can see, the Tetons still have a lot of snow, so not all of their summer range is fully open just yet, but a lot of it is starting. So these animals are kind of working their way up, starting that migrational pattern to get a bit further north. And just as I predicted, as I kept going north, I ran into a few of my first bull elk that I had seen. Now some of these are cows as well, but gosh, look at this moment. Just bull elk, cow elk sitting in front of the Grand Tetons. Feels like one of the most Wyoming moments you can get. But it turns out these elk weren't the only ones who got up early to stand in front of a beautiful mountain range.
These two moose here are actually both bull moose. So you'll see that they are in this, like, what I call like an awkward teenage phase, where they are actually starting to regrow their antlers, but the antlers aren't quite covered in velvet just yet. But two young bulls isn't super uncommon to see, but moose in general are much more solitary animals. But what an incredible view with these bull moose sitting right underneath the Tetons. I haven't spotted it yet, but I can hear a western meadowlark out there as well. Really cool moment. Well, we weren't even on the road for 2 minutes and we ran into some more moose, but check this out. These are actually both female moose. So if you look closely, right between her ears and her eyes, there's no pedicle. Same for this one over here. There's no point.
A bit further down the trail as I kept moving, I actually ran into one of my favorite birds. So I slapped on my ollin adapter to actually just to my binoculars since I couldn't get out of the car on this one, and checked out this lovely little quad of sandhill cranes. A beautiful bird that is definitely a sign of spring for us as they are just coming back to this ecosystem. While I was spotting them, I actually spotted yet another interesting part of the morning.
So this is cool. We have a two bull elk hanging with one female moose.
After what felt like a good amount of time kind of exploring the southern part of the park, I again continued to go north, following this trend that more animals might be a little bit further north as the spring starts to warm.
So we have this moose about to cross the road. People see him, so I think we're gonna be okay. But you'll notice that I decided to stop a little bit further back just to give this moose a little bit of room so that when she crosses, she has like space to do so. Oh, how pretty. They always tend to stand right on the edge of the road. Just like this last final check. She's just standing right on the side of the road, but she's about to go over this edge down into this other part of the valley. So they always take their time before they come over an edge, it seems like. And down she goes. Perfect. Perfect moose crossing. I'll show you where she is now. She's just about to go off that edge right there.
Felt like I needed a little break from driving, so I just wanted to stop and scan an area very thoroughly. It's always a debate in looking for wildlife of, do I stay here and scan and scan and scan, or do I kind of keep moving and hope that something will kind of be in the next spot? But this is one of my favorite spots in the park. I think this view, if I could build any cabin, enclave, house, hut, whatever it might be, this would be the view that I would want to have. You can see the entire Teton Mountain Range here, 45 miles in length. Didn't spot anything in this spot, but gosh dang, is it not beautiful. Quick reminder of why you drive the speed limit in Grand Teton in all national parks. A lovely cow moose ran right in front of me, and turns out she would not be the only one today. Watch her hop this fence right here. Those big, strong, powerful legs. That fence is no problem for him, but you can tell she's a little agitated, so I didn't stick around and get my scope out. I just said, thanks for the moment there, Mama Moose, and I'm out of here. Gonna leave you alone. So after officially entering Grand Teton National Park in what feels like more of the park versus just the state highway, did another little stop and scan. Probably no coincidence that there's a Be Bear Aware sign right in front of me, and yes, of course, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for grizzly bears, as it is the time of year where these grizz start popping out. So I start to check these south-facing slopes, where it'd be easier to walk versus punching through the deep snow that would be more on the north-facing slope. An epic moment with a female moose with 2 calves, something that I have not seen in a long time. Especially big props to this mama moose for keeping both of these 2 calves alive. This northern part of Grand Teton definitely has some really good wolf habitat, and for her to keep both of these 2 calves alive all winter in what can be pretty dense wolf habitat, nice job, mama. Yet again, another reason to keep it slow, pay attention. The views are distracting, but make sure you're not hitting any animals when you're driving through the park. Another time, hopped out of the car just to kind of see what was going on, kind of slow down a little bit, do some birding, see the minutia of the landscape versus trying to look for the big animals. And here it comes in 3, 2, 1, stop. Saw something rather interesting down on the ground. So tracking is a very fun way to explore the landscape, and if you look right here, that is a grizzly bear track.
Well, team, I was just gonna walk down to the river here as like a little break from driving around. I was just literally about to say it's good to like slow down and like look at what's going on around the landscape, and I just found this track. That, my friends, is a grizzly bear track. Right there. There's all the toes. And there's the pad. And there's the claws.
Thinking that this bear might have hung out a little bit and kind of walked around the shore in this really good muddy substrate to leave tracks, I did the same. Just trying to check it out. Did a bear walk through there? Did the bear have cubs with it? Could I tell if it's a male or a female? Didn't find any great tracks, but gang, if you do this long enough, it's really fun network of people up here. I got a message about some river otters, so hopped back in the truck, had to look at this terrible, terrible, terrible view once again, and ran over to the Jackson Lake Dam, which can be a common spot to find river otters. And wouldn't you know it, they were still in view. Well, those otters were really cool. One of the things you try to do as a guide, and even as somebody who loves wildlife, is try to get like this predictive value on like where animals might show up. So I'm actually not going to try to go search too hard anymore for bears. I mean, I'll look around a little bit, but I'm just going to go downstream because these otters were moving downstream. So I'm going to go kind of get ahead of them. You know, me going 30, 40 miles an hour right now. Hopefully get ahead of them and then just kind of sit and wait and hopefully have another like really beautiful moment with this what looks like a mated pair of river otters. Let's see if it happens or not. So I got all set up down by the river here, kind of found this lovely rock that I thought I'd sit on, and you can see the river in this shot is flowing from the right to the left, going downhill. So I set up looking upstream just to see if those river otters would pop out. Now I kept looking for about 45 minutes and didn't have any luck with the otters. Saw a bunch of new ducks that have been coming back to our valley. Checked on them, checked on their movements to see if an otter was kind of freaking them out at all. And nothing really spooked them, but I just kind of kept sitting and waiting, hoping to see if otters would show up. Now, not a bad idea as well to just kind of glass around and see what else is in the area. And as I continued to look, I actually did see a predator of sorts actually did come onto the landscape. Check this out. So this is actually a bald eagle. I know some of y'all think that might be a golden eagle, but it's actually a juvenile bald eagle. And those ducks were a little freaked out because these eagles eat a lot of ducks in the wintertime. Time kind of pressed on, even though it's a beautiful spot. I didn't have any luck with those otters, so who knows what they did. They might have backed up, turned around, gone the other way. Plus, if I'm being totally honest right here, I did not bring bear spray out from my truck. Started to get just a little bit nervous, as again, bears are on the landscape. So even though it's a beautiful spot, just felt a little bit freaked out. Should have had bear spray on me. So decided to pack it up and actually head back to the truck. Well, y'all, that's all we got for this one. Just a couple hours out there, looking, viewing, learning from the landscape. And again, yeah, not a terrible view on the way back home. Let me know in the comments if you like this little kind of episode. I think I like doing more of this kind of stuff, bring you out here versus just me yapping at you on Instagram. Let me know in the comments, yeah, on what you'd like to see change, different, new, all of the above. And in the meantime, gang, thanks for joining. You're an awesome team. Stay golden.